All right, you guys are taking your last quiz tomorrow, so this is your final review. This is just covering the isosceles and equilateral triangles. You guys will get side angle side, and that was on review number 2. So study like what's going to look most like your test, what's going to have similar concepts. Review number 2 and your final review. So again, this just covers the isosceles and equilateral, but the other one has side angle side. So please study those two. Like this is your final test, and I really want you guys to do well. So please make sure you are understanding this. All right. Looking at the first question, this should be pretty easy. You do have to know which sides are congruent. So when you're looking at your isosceles triangle, this is an isosceles triangle, I need to figure out which two sides are congruent, and I drew my arrows. But what you need to do is make your congruency marks, just knowing. Who could tell me what would x equal?
7.
Good. X equals 7. You can really just knock some of these out pretty quickly. If you're looking at this and you're like, oh, but Ms. Chung, there's a line here. It's just an extra line to kind of throw you off, but don't worry about that extra line. You don't need that extra line. Looking at number 2, you could tell me what the answer to number 2 is. Yes. Anybody? Number 2?
6.
Good. X equals 6. Looking at number 3. Okay. Looking at number 3. I have one large isosceles triangle. Okay, one large isosceles triangle. Who could tell me what is the measure of x? It's also going to be 6, okay? So when you're looking at these, don't get lost and say, oh my gosh, but there's 2 triangles. It's just 2 triangles there, just trying to throw you off. Just don't overthink it. I promise you, this is not supposed to be a got you moment. Just don't overthink it. Okay, so this is also 6. So x equals 6. Looking at number 4, what would x equal?
4.
X equals 4. These are pretty easy. All right, now we're doing angle measurements. Looking at number 5, how would I solve for x? First, let me write A, B, C. Which angles are congruent? Which angles would be congruent in this triangle?
A and C.
Good. Angle A is congruent to angle C. Okay, so I'm writing my congruency marks for my angles. How would I solve for x? What do I have to do?
180 minus 40.
Good. 180 minus 40, what does that equal?
140
Good. 140. And then what do I have to do next?
divided by 2.
140 divided by 2 is going to give me
70.
70. So what does x equal?
70.
X equals 70 degrees. Nah.
So
If you get 70, I know it will be 70 degrees. Just don't put a degree sign for a side. Yeah.
So A and C would be 70.
So A and C would both be 70, but they're only asking us for x.
Oh, okay.
If you ever want to double check, you could just plug 70 in your angles and then add everything to see if it equals 180.
Okay.
Always check your work. All right, looking at number 6, what would x equal? 75. Those are my 2 congruent angles. Okay, these 2 are my 2 congruent angles. All right, looking at number 7, what would x equal?
72.
Okay, and how would I solve that? Why would it be 72? Look at it. We have to find the congruent angles. So I have A, B, C. Looking at your lines of congruency, it's kind of pointing to the corners. It's pointing to the opposite sides. And my opposite side would be A and B. So I know that angle B is also going to be 54 degrees. And then how would I solve for x? What do I have to do?
54 plus 54.
Good. 54 plus 54. And what would I get?
108.
Good. And then what do I have to do with that 108?
180 minus 108.
180 minus 108. And what would I get left over?
72.
Good. 72. So my answer for x would be 72 degrees.
Wait, why is B?
So y is b54. I have to find, remember, the congruent angles. So looking at this, they're giving me my congruent sides. So this is going to be my congruent angle. Okay, so I need to find the two angles that are the same. So looking at this one, if this is 54, then this angle is also going to be 54. All right, number 8, it's similar. Okay, so again, I'm going to write ABC. And who could tell me which two angles are congruent? Good. B and C. So that means both of these are going to be 75 degrees. Now I have to add. And what would I get? Good. And then what do I have to do with that 150?
Subtract by 180.
180, because that's the total of my triangle, minus that 150. And what would I get left over?
30.
Good. So what would x equal? X equals 30 degrees. Again, you could plug it in and add all your sides to make sure they equal 180. All right, looking at this one, I have two triangles. Please don't get lost in these triangles. Find out the angles. So what am I going to look at first? I'm going to look at this triangle that I'm highlighting in blue. And again, I have triangle A, B, and this angle is C. Which two angles on my blue triangle will be congruent? A and B. So I know this is also 65. So how would I find out the measure for angle C? How would I do that?
Add both 65.
Good, 65 plus 65, what would I get?
130.
And what would I have to do next?
Subtract by 180.
180 minus 130, and what am I going to get? I'm going to get 50. So I'm going to plug in a 50 right here. Now I have to figure out the measurements of my triangle in green. What do I know about this green triangle? What do I know? There's something that I'm able to tell.
Top angle's 50.
The vertical angle, perfect. The top angle, this is also going to be 50 degrees. Now I can solve for my x. I'm actually going to change this color, and I'm going to do it in red. This is 50 degrees. So again, I have ABC. I'm going to make this DE. Which two angles are congruent? Not D and E. C and E. Okay, C and E will be congruent because remember, it's the opposite angle. So this is also going to be 50. And now how do I solve for x? I'm going to do that 50 plus 50, which is super easy, 100. 180 minus 100. And what is x going to equal? 80 degrees. You guys are going to see questions like this on your test. X equals 80 degrees.
Do we have a proof on our test?
Maybe.
No.
We'll see. Maybe one small one.
Please no, Mr.
Maybe like a 4. No, you guys get fill in the blank. It'll be giving you either a statement or a reason, and you just have to fill in one. All right, looking at number 10. You guys will see these on your test. You will have to be solving for x. So look at it, break it up into triangles. So first triangle, if you want to take a highlighter on your test. Take color pencils on your test. Make it colorful if you want so you're able to stay organized. But please make sure you're solving these. So looking at this one, I'm going to do my first blue triangle. This one to me looks like the one that I can solve the fastest, or I have enough information to solve for. Or you really didn't even have to start out with this one. You could have started out with the other one and just solved for x. So which one do we want to solve for? I'll give you guys the option. Do you want to do the green one or the blue one? All right, we'll do the green one. What do I know about the green one? Look at it. They're giving me a right angle right here, this little box. And if they're giving me 28 degrees out of my total right angle, how would I find the remaining degree? Good, so I'm going to take 90, because they gave me that's a 90-degree angle, minus 28, what would I get? Good. And if this angle is 62, where should 62 also be? Because remember, it's an isosceles triangle. Where? So I'll put A, B, C, D. If angle CAB is 62, which angle should also be 62? Remember, they're giving you congruency marks. B, angle B is also going to be 62. And then how would I solve for x?
Add 62.
62 plus 62, what would I get?
124.
Good, and then what do I have to do with that 124? 180 minus 124, and what would I get? Perfect. X equals 56 degrees. These are not hard. You just have to figure out what numbers you're working with. Again, this is all addition and subtraction. I'm not doing anything else. Or division, okay? Addition, subtraction, or division by 2. All right, do we have any questions on the first 10? You guys are turning this in, so I suggest you work on it now because I'm doing it with you. Or you're going to have to do it for homework. All right, questions on 1 through 10? Okay. All right, looking at the next one, 11, same concept. Please keep in mind that 148 is not for the side, it is for the angle. Okay, it is for the entire, it is for, which angle? It's for this angle right here. Obviously, you're not going to be able to tell which angle, but you should know if they're giving me 90 degrees, it can't be for that 90 degrees. So this 148 is just for this angle right here in blue. Okay, that 148 is for that angle in blue. I need to find this remaining angle in red. If you could kind of see it, or you know what, I'll change it to green. I need to find this green angle. So a couple things to know. We have a straight line. My straight line is this one in yellow. And a straight line is how many degrees? 180. So I'm going to take 180 minus 148. What would I get? Anybody who subtracted? 180 minus 148.
32.
Perfect. So that means this angle right here in green is 32 degrees. And again, they're giving me a right angle. How would I find the remaining part of this angle? 90, good, minus 32. And what's 90 minus 32?
68.
What was it?
68.
58 or 68?
68. Is it not? Oh, shoot.
I have 58. And now I have to find the angles that are congruent. So looking at this one, where else would it be 58 degrees? So I'll write A, B, C.
B.
A, B, C would also be 58 degrees. But they're asking me for the angle on the outside. So how would I find that angle on the outside? How would I find that angle? Again, I have a straight line right here. What do I have to do with that 58? Subtract it from 180. So I'm going to get 180.
Oh, I didn't realize.
minus 58. And what would my answer be? Perfect. Okay, please make sure you are understanding how you're finding angles. And what is a straight line and what are they giving you? All right, let's go ahead and do number 12. Or you know what? I'll leave the evens for you.
I'm just trying to look at number 12. That's crazy.
Yes, you can do it. You guys can do it, just, you know, straight lines. All right, I have isosceles triangles. Which sides are congruent? Which sides are congruent? This side's congruent to this side. And this side's congruent to this side. So who could tell me what would x equal? If I'm writing it as an equation, 8 equals -1 plus x. I have to add 1 to both sides. X is going to equal 8 plus 1? 9. X equals 9.
Oh my god.
All right, 15. The measure of angle 2 is x plus 94. A, B, C, D, E. All right, angle A is congruent to which angle? Good, right here. So if this is 47 degrees, my vertical angle should also be 47 degrees. Angle D is congruent to CBD, and this is also 47 degrees. What do I have to do to find the measure of angle 2? Keep in mind this question is asking to solve for x, but I still have to find the measure of angle 2, so how would I do this one? There's a couple steps in here. How would I solve this? How would I solve this one? What am I going to do? How would I find the measure of angle 2? Good, 47 plus 47, what would I get? Good. And then what do I have to do with that 94? 180 minus 94, and what would I get for that? Is it 126? No, it's not 126. It's less than 100.
It's 86.
What would it be?
86.
Good, 86. So if the measure of angle 2 is 86 degrees, what do you think I have to do with that? I'm going to write an equation. 86 equals x plus 94. How am I solving for x?
Subtract 94 on both sides.
Good. Subtract 94 to both sides. And then what would I get left over? Negative x equals -8. All right, and then 17. Yeah, sorry. All right, 17. Finding specific measures for this one. So looking at it, they're giving me a straight line here. I know this is 118. How would I figure out the remaining? I'm going to take that 180, subtract 118. What would I get left over?
162. No, 62.
Good, 62. So this is going to be 62 degrees. And then what's this side also going to be? Good, 62 degrees. What do I have to do to find this angle right here? I'll make it purple. Good, add them together. 62 plus 62, what would I get? I'm gonna get 124. And then what do I have to do with that 124? 180 minus 124, what am I gonna get? $56 or 50? Yes, 56. 56 degrees. If this is 56 degrees, and again I have a straight line right here, how would I find out the measure of angle 2? How would I find out this measure? What do I have to do? Take that straight line, 180, minus this 56 degrees. And what is x or angle 2 gonna equal? What's 180 minus 56? 180 minus 56.
Are we trying to get angle 2 right now?
We're trying to get x, but yes, we're trying to solve for angle 2 right now. So 180 minus 56.
124.
So this is 124. What do I have to do with that 124?
12x plus 4 equals 124.
124 equals 12x plus 4. Now what should I do?
Minus 4.
Good, we're going back to algebra. 120 equals 12x. Last, what do I have to do? Divide by 12, and x is going to equal? X equals 10, and I'm done. All right, questions on these? If you can do these by yourself, you can do the test by yourself.
We always get to do it by ourselves.
Yes. All right, you guys have a test Tuesday. You have to finish the rest. 4 questions, that's it. I just left you 4.
Let's
Go
just
ahead.
do it. We haven't
No, I need you guys to try it by yourself instead of me doing it for you.
I don't have all. Which one?
All right, hold on. See, what was it again? If I could. This angle, guys, right now you're working on those 4 because you can get it done in class. This top angle,
No, the one on
this one,
the no, the one on top.
this one. That's also 62. Yeah. Yeah, because these 2 are vertical, so this could also be 62. But you guys are having a test tomorrow. If you can do all of this, what I recommend you do is erase everything, do it by yourself, and see if you get the same answers. Because the concepts, you're going to see these concepts on your test tomorrow. So please study. This is your last test. This should be an A. because
like all there is on the test.
yes,
Like this.
isosceles equilateral and side angle side, but that's also on review 2. So if you study review 2 and this, you'll be perfect for the test.
I'm good.
If there was a proof, it would be multiple choice. You get a word bank. Yes. Go ahead. All right, any questions? Okay, please go ahead and do those 4 and submit them.